Listen, mate, here's something that might actually surprise you. A woman can care for you, even love you, and yet act like you barely exist in her world. Strange, right? And most of the time, she isn't even aware she's doing it. Picture this. You've been showing up, consistent, patient, solid, yet somehow, it all felt invisible. You gave more than you got, she took it for granted, and nothing changed until you finally pull back. That's when the rules flip. Suddenly, the silence isn't empty anymore. It's a mirror reflecting everything she ignored. She starts noticing the man she convinced herself she didn't need. Here's the kicker. Most guys don't hear. Women aren't scheming against you. They feel intensely, act on impulse, crave connection, and sometimes test limits without realizing the damage. Your patience, your steady presence, what you thought was loyalty, she might have mistaken for weakness. She assumed you'd always be there until you weren't. And the moment she realizes she can't reach you like before, something shifts inside her. That's when the missing starts. Not just a passing thought, but a gnawing sense that something important is gone. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll break down the exact psychological signs that show she's missing the man she took for granted, the ones most guys completely overlook. Once you spot these, you'll see just how truly irreplaceable you are. Alright brother, let me lay it out for you straight. You want to know the exact moment she starts missing you, and I mean really feeling it in a way that makes her question everything. It's not during fights, it's not when she's giving attitude or acting like she doesn't care. It hits her when you go quiet, when your name doesn't pop up on her phone anymore, when you stop checking in, stop texting, stop sending those little updates she pretended didn't matter, the ones she actually loved deep down. That's when silence stops being just quiet and starts echoing inside her head, gnawing at her mind. See, most women are wired to be chased. They're used to men proving themselves, staying consistent, showing up even when they flip from hot to cold in a blink. And when you keep giving that, it feeds a kind of power she doesn't even notice. She starts taking you for granted without a second thought. But here's the brutal part. The moment you pull back, everything flips. At first, it's subtle, a little confusion, a question in her mind. Why hasn't he texted me today? Then it escalates. She's checking her phone more, refreshing your stories, peeking at what you're doing, even if she never reacts or comments. That shift, that's her ego scrambling. And it doesn't take weeks, a few days, maybe a week of you stepping out of orbit. And the woman who told you she needed space is suddenly spiraling. She's asking herself, did I push him too far? Is he over me? Did I screw this up? Here's what most men miss. When a woman pulls back, it's often a test. She's measuring your value, seeing how far you'll fight for her. But when you walk away instead of chasing, it hits her like a hammer. Because deep down, she thought you'd never let go. And when you don't, that's when reality sinks in. She realizes how much she relied on you. Your presence, your voice, your attention, your steadiness. The very things she dismissed suddenly feel like everything she's missing. This is the turning point, man. The instant you stop orbiting, the instant you stop giving your energy away freely, she's forced to reckon with it. And here's the kicker. She can't just rewind. You're no longer the same man she took for granted. You've changed. You've leveled up. Your energy is scarce. Your presence is earned. Now she's the one left wondering, what if he never comes back the same way? And that, brother, is the exact moment the missing begins. That's when the shift is real, when the craving hits, and when she starts realizing just how replaceable she thought you were, but she wasn't. Now here's where the Stoic lens comes in. Understand this. You don't need to chase. You don't need her validation. Your power comes from your own consistency, your own presence. You stay grounded. You observe. You act without attachment to the outcome. That's how a man becomes truly unshakable, and that's what she notices, even if she won't admit it. 2. She remembers the little things she never valued. Here's the brutal truth, brother. When she starts missing you, it's rarely the big flashy stuff she thinks about. Forget the expensive dinners, the over-the-top surprises, the things that drained your wallet. What really hits her? It's the small stuff, the things she barely even noticed while you were doing them. It's that good morning text you sent every single day without fail. It's how you could see she was exhausted, even when she insisted she was fine. It's showing up with her favorite snack instead of flowers she didn't even ask for. It's the way you remembered some random detail she mentioned once, a detail she didn't expect anyone to care about. Back then, she didn't value it. She got comfortable, assumed it was just who you are, the guy who always cared, always showed up, always gave more than he got. And in her selfish moments, yeah, she probably made you feel invisible, like none of it mattered. But the moment you're gone, that silence hits like a freight train. Suddenly, those little gestures you made, they echo louder than anything. She realizes no one else makes her feel the way you did. Safe, seen, chosen, understood. Here's the brutal part most women won't say out loud. When she's with other guys who don't have your depth, your patience, your presence. Regret hits her like a gut punch. She realizes it too late. You weren't just a nice guy. You were rare, brother. Emotionally intelligent, observant, forgiving, the kind of man who gives without needing credit. And that kind of man doesn't just show up twice in a lifetime. It hits her in the quiet moments, scrolling through her phone in bed and seeing something that reminds her of you. It hits when another guy loses his patience with her instead of staying calm. It hits when she opens up to someone new and it just doesn't feel the same. What she really misses isn't just you, it's how she felt when she was with you. The security, the attention, the emotional weight you carried so naturally. Those little things you did, they weren't small to her, even if she acted like it. And trust me, she remembers every one of them, more than you'll ever guess. And here's the Stoic takeaway, man. This is exactly why your value is never in the chasing or the proving. Your value is in the man you are, whether she notices it or not. When you live fully, with presence, patience, and consistency, you become irreplaceable, and that's what hits her hardest when you step back. 3. She acts cool, but inside she's falling apart. All right, brother, let me lay it out straight. When a woman realizes she may have taken a solid man for granted, don't expect a confession. She won't admit it right away. Nope, instead she puts on a mask. She acts unbothered, drops those living my best life posts, maybe even starts talking to another guy like it's casual. Here's the harsh reality. It's not because she's over you, it's her defense mechanism. She doesn't want you to see the chaos inside her head. She's replaying every conversation, analyzing every reaction, questioning if she pushed too far, wondering if she mistook your patience and loyalty for weakness, and the worst part, she's starting to realize she might have lost you for good. Inside, it's a storm, quiet, invisible to everyone but her. She won't show it. That's how most women handle regret. They bury it under distractions, under validation, under the illusion of control. But here's the thing. The connection she felt with you doesn't just vanish. It lingers, it echoes, and it haunts her. Then comes the part that burns the most. She sees you moving on, leveling up, doing exactly the things she said she wanted from you. Only now you're doing them without her. And that's when the truth hits her like a punch. It wasn't that you weren't enough. It was that she didn't recognize your value until it was too late. Even then, she won't come running back. She'll wait, hoping, secretly, that you'll reach out, that you still care, that you still think about her. And when you don't, that's when panic sets in. Suddenly, her mind spirals. Was I too cold? Did I demand too much? Did I make him feel invisible? Does he hate me now? Here's the brutal truth for you. Women hate uncertainty, especially from a man they assumed would always be there. Most of them act like they have unlimited time, assuming you'll keep chasing no matter how they test you. But when you stop, when you go quiet, when you stop giving a damn, that silence hits harder than anything. It forces her to confront everything she ignored, every little effort you made, every moment she took for granted, and the longer you stay silent, the more it sinks in. He might really not come back this time. And here's where Stoicism quietly threads in. You don't need to react. You don't need to chase. The power isn't in the message. It's in the peace of your presence, the calm detachment. By holding yourself steady, by not giving your energy away freely, you let reality hit her, the raw truth she can't escape. That's when missing you turns into regret. And regret, that's the wake-up call. Not every woman reaches it, but the ones who truly cared, even if they never showed it, they feel it deep when they lose a man like you. 4. The ego fights, but emotion always wins. Man, let me be real with you. When a woman starts missing a guy she once took for granted, it's not subtle. There's a full-on battle raging inside her head. One side screams, I messed up, I pushed away a good man. The other side whispers, stay strong, don't show it, he should have fought harder. It's ego versus emotion. Her ego wants to shield her pride. It tells her not to admit fault, not to apologize, not to reach out first, because doing so would feel like weakness, like she's lost control. Here's the brutal truth. Women who are used to being chased, who thrive on control, will cling to that power even when it's costing them what they really want, you. But emotion doesn't stay buried forever. Missing you hits in waves, sometimes at night, when the world is quiet, sometimes when she stumbles on a memory or sees something that reminds her of you. Sometimes she's laughing with someone new and realizes it's just not the same. They don't make her feel the way you did, and that's when her emotional side starts breaking through. She admits things to herself she'd never say out loud. I expected him to read my mind. I wanted him to chase me, not realizing he was already tired of proving himself. I acted like I didn't need him, but the truth is, I did. As those feelings stack up, her ego begins to lose ground. But don't be fooled. On the outside, she might still look composed, like she's moved on. Inside, she's wrestling with truths she's too proud to admit. She might test the waters subtly, checking your stories, liking an old post, sending a casual "hey, hope you're good" message. Small moves that really scream, "I'm still thinking about you." It's not always about getting back together immediately. Often she just wants to know the door isn't completely closed, that you're still reachable. But the moment she senses you're truly checked out, emotionally gone, your energy fully shifted, that's when emotion smashes ego. Missing you transforms into that pit in the stomach regret no woman talks about. The kind of regret with no replay button, no do-over. And here's the kicker. From a Stoic perspective, this is the natural order of human attachment. Life doesn't bend to your ego or her whims. When you withdraw calmly, without anger or desperation, you let reality teach her a lesson she can't ignore. The man she took for granted has value independent of her validation. It's painful, humbling, and it makes her wish she could rewind everything she thought she could get away with when she assumed you'd always be there. 5. Seeing him glow hits hard. Man, let me be real with you. The exact moment she starts missing you, it's not right after the breakup. It's not when the silence first hits. The moment that cuts deep is when she sees you living your life without her. When she realizes you didn't stop, you didn't wait, you didn't sit there hoping she'd come crawling back. That's when it stings. That's when it really hits. She notices the glow. You're happier, stronger, moving forward, calm, unbothered, thriving. And all the patience, all the kindness, all the consistency she once dismissed. She remembers it now. Think about it. She might have assumed she had the upper hand. You were steady, consistent, loyal, the guy she thought she could take for granted. She assumed you'd always be there. But now, she sees a new version of you. Traveling, smiling like life isn't waiting for anyone, killing it at the gym, calm, collected. No captions, no passive-aggressive messages, just you thriving without her. And that's the brutal truth. She doesn't have that hold over you anymore. That control she felt she had, gone. And suddenly she's panicking. Did I matter? Was he ever really mine? Maybe she types a message, deletes it, over and over. Here's the real kicker, man. When a man pulls away, women might roll their eyes. But when a man levels up, when he stops chasing and starts glowing, they feel it in their bones. That's when the roles flip. She's no longer in control. She's the one wondering, questioning, watching, and you're just living your life. She assumed you'd always stay the same emotionally. But now, your energy has shifted. You're calm, unbothered. Your silence carries weight. And that's the Stoic part, brother. You've detached without bitterness, without needing validation. You didn't chase. You didn't prove yourself. You just walked your path, and that alone forces her to face reality. She was part of the problem, and then the thinking starts. She remembers what she took for granted. Your strength, your presence, your patience, your calm, your consistency. And now she's staring at a man she can't reach anymore. Not because you hate her, not because you're bitter, but because you value yourself too much to orbit around someone who didn't see it. And that's when it hits the gut-wrenching missing. The kind that wakes her up at 3 a.m., scrolling, realizing she let someone rare slip away. The kind of missing that doesn't fade until she's facing the truth. She lost a man she can't replace. 6. Silence forces her to feel everything. Listen up, brother. Most guys never hear this straight from the source. When you go silent, the kind of quiet from a man who used to care, who used to show up, it's not just ghosting or ignoring her. Nah, it's something deeper. It's psychological pressure, and it hits where it counts. Here's how it goes down. She might have taken you for granted because she assumed you'd always be there. Your patience, your calm, your consistency. She probably read that as safe, and safe can turn into expendable in her mind faster than she realizes. But when you pull back, stop checking in, stop reacting, stop giving her that energy she used to control, it doesn't just make you absent, it forces her to feel everything. Your silence becomes a mirror she can't look away from. Without your voice, without your presence, she's left alone with her own thoughts, staring at her own mistakes. And that's when the questions hit like a hammer. Did I mess this up? Why hasn't he reached out? Was he really into me? Is he over me? Those spirals, they're fast, man. Because once she realizes you're emotionally gone, it doesn't feel like freedom, it feels like rejection. Even if she was the one pushing you away, even if she walked first, your silence feels like punishment. But here's the brutal part. It's not empowerment she feels replaced. That fear creeps in quietly. Every day she's scanning, checking, wondering, has your energy shifted? Are you truly gone? Is your name popping up elsewhere? And when she sees nothing, that's when it drives her insane. She knows you're gone. Not temporarily, not waiting, gone. Here's the Stoic angle, brother. You're embodying emotional detachment without anger, without neediness. You're letting reality play out as it is, not as she wants it. Deep down, every woman who ever took a man for granted fears the same truth. you'll finally see your worth without needing her validation. So if you're sitting there silent right now, wondering if she's thinking about you, trust me, she is, but it's more than thought. She's feeling it in every part of her. She's in a place she doesn't like, not in control, not influencing your emotions, not holding power over your attention anymore. And that, brother, is when regret hits. Quiet, deep, brutal, not dramatic, not loud, but it lands, and it lands hard. So don't break your silence just because it's uncomfortable. Don't chase the illusion of fixing it. You have no idea how much power this holds, or how much clarity it's giving her about what she lost, and that power, that's yours, silently, like a stoic warrior standing firm. 7. Don't let her treat you like you're replaceable. Listen carefully, brother. If you let a woman treat you like just another option, she will start believing it's true, and I'll be blunt, because sometimes a man needs the cold truth. If you keep showing up for a woman who isn't showing up for you, if you keep proving your loyalty to someone who doesn't value it, you're training her to see you as replaceable, and once she buys into that, her behavior changes to match. Now, I'm not saying women are heartless, far from it. They're emotional, intuitive, reactive, especially when it comes to dating. But here's the kicker. If you're always available, always forgiving, always agreeing, even when she crosses boundaries, she stops seeing your value. Instead, she sees desperation. And desperation, that's unattractive, my friend. Brutal, but true. Here's what most men miss. Women don't respect what they can control. If she knows you'll always be there, no matter what she does, the pull to be her best around you disappears. You become easy, predictable, emotionally cheap. She doesn't mean to take you for granted, but she will. And by the time you realize it, the dynamic is already baked in, silently allowed by your own hand. The good news, you can flip it. Not by chasing, not by arguing for respect. You flip it by holding your energy where it's actually valued. You set a higher standard for yourself, not as a tactic, but as a lifestyle. You show her through your actions that you know your worth, that you're not afraid to walk away from someone who can't see it. And trust me, she feels that shift instantly. She notices when you stop chasing, when you move like a man who knows what he brings to the table. That's the kind of energy that lingers, that sticks. So if you've been giving too much and she started treating you like an option, stop blaming her. Start checking yourself. Ask, which part of me kept hoping my love alone would make her appreciate me? That's the part you fix, because the moment you realize you set the standard for how you're treated, everything changes. A woman cannot take a man for granted who doesn't allow her the chance. Here's the secret most won't say out loud. She doesn't miss you for being nice. She doesn't miss you for doing everything right. She misses you when you make her feel something she can't replace. It's not about looks, money, or perfection. It's about presence. It's the emotional imprint you leave when you walk away. Calm, confident, unshaken. Quiet detachment hits differently. When a man stops proving himself and just lives like he knows his worth, that's when she remembers him. And if she took you for granted, that memory doesn't just sting, it haunts. Because now she knows she can't get that version of you back unless she truly rises to meet it. Here's the Stoic lesson, man. This isn't revenge, it's discipline. It's living aligned with your own values, not hers. You don't need to force respect. You become the standard, and that alone commands it. Become the man who doesn't need validation, because he already sees his own worth. That's the man she'll miss. And trust me, brother, she'll feel it deep. Alright, brother, if you've been watching this and thinking, man, I need to understand how to really flip the script, here's the deal. There's a next level to this. I've got another video that dives deep into how to make her chase you after you go silent, exactly what to do when you pull back and want her to feel that magnetic pull. It's called How to Make Her Chase You After No Contact, and it's waiting for you right here on the screen. Click it, watch it, and start seeing the shift in how she reacts when you stop being easy to reach. And before you go, make sure you do 3 things. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next truth bombs I drop. Give this video a like if it opened your eyes to how women really respond. Drop a comment below. Tell me if you've ever been taken for granted, or what happened when you finally stopped chasing. I read every single one, and your story matters. Remember, brother, understanding this isn't just about women. It's about holding your power, knowing your worth, and living like the man she'll regret losing.